Pause.
Saib. Saib.
Pause. These words are water.
Dŵr yw'r geiriau hyn. Byddwch lonydd. Daliwch. Ymataliwch. Aroswch.
Be still. Hold. Pause. Wait. A flooded valley cradled by the hills and their underbelly of impermeable rock.
Cwm syddedig ymreichiau'r bryniau, a'r gwaelodion yn graig anrheiddiadwy.
Flooded.
Boddwyd. Fel dŵr yma, rydym yn orlawn.
As water here, we are full. We are a reservoir.
Rydym yn gronfa. Egni potensial wedi ddal. Fe'i gedwyr yma, fe'i gynhelir yma. Gweithiwyd yn galed i'w gadw yma.
Potential energy held, stored here, maintained here, worked hard to keep it here. Energy preserved.
Egni ar gadw. Batri llawn.
A battery charged.
Ac i'r gwrthwyneb I fatri llawn, ceir egni wedi ddiarddel, felly mae'r system rheoli ynni yma yng Nghwm Elan Caban Coch.
And the opposite of a battery charged is all energy expelled. So this energy management system at Elan Valley, Caban Coch,
Mewn geiriau gwahanol ond gyda'r un termau.
in different words and yet the same terms, is a fatigue management system.
Yn system rheoli blinder.
Fatigue.
Blinder. Fel mewn batri gwag, cronfa wedi wagio.
A battery empty. A reservoir drained. A body of water no longer.
Nid bellach yn gorff o ddŵr yn gorff gwag.
A body empty. And behind the 122 feet high, 610 long and 122 thick megalith,
A thu ôl i'r 122 troedfedd o uchder, 610 o hyd a 122 o drwch megalith. Rydym ar ein ehangder llorweddol.
we are our horizontal expanse. 500 acres of wet in one breath.
500 erw o wlybaniaeth mewn un anadl. A'r gwynt yn dawnsio ar ein hwyneb, cred y gwynt ein bod yn fflat.
The wind dances our surface and wind thinks that we are flat.
Yn ehangder,
An expanse, horizontal and still.
llorweddol a llonydd, cawn ein trin I lifo.
We are engineered to flow.
Gorwel o wydyr ydym wedi adeiladu yn y lle anghywir yn yr oebren. Ymyl syth un tegwch.
We are a glassy horizon built at the wrong place in the sky, a straight edge to our serene.
Llonyddwch fel golygfa ffilm.
Stillness cut like a movie scene.
Wedi mynd, syrthiwn.
Gone. We plummet. Our off-frame roar plays one orchestral part of this ground of soundscape.
Mae ein rhio di-ffram yn chwarae un rhan cerddorfaol o sŵn y tir hwn. Ein crescendo yn awgrymu bod ein taith yn dechrau yn y ddrama hon.
Our crescendo suggests our journey starts in this drama,
Ond nid ydyw.
but it does not.
O olwg y tu hwnt i'r grefft llwyfan, 40 troedfedd islaw yng nghanol ein llonyddwch.
Out of sight behind this stagecraft, 40 feet below in the middle of our stillness, is the submerged dam Garreg Ddu.
Mae argau syddedig garreg ddu. Tŵr y foel yn rheoli y bwydo dyfriol o'r paradwys daearol hon.
The foil tower controls our liquid feed from this terrestrial paradise to the metropolitan of Birmingham.
I Metropolis, Birmingham.
We, as water in flow,
Ni, fel dwfr yn llif.
have our energy engineered and controlled and our fatigue managed.
Peiriannir ein hegni a rheolir ein blinder.
Through this we generate health, we manifest health. It is through us that health becomes.
Trwy hyn cynhyrchwn iechyd, dan goswn iechyd, trwyddom ni y daw iechyd I fod.
73 miles away Birmingham lives. No more waterborne disease. We,
Ninnau,
the elixir of life to drink.
elixir bywyd yw yfed, ac oddi yma i'r metropolis a dalwyd.
And from here to metropolis spent.
Heb ragor o heintiau a glidir gan ddŵr, triga Birmingham, 73 milltir I ffwrdd.
These words as water are movement, move on.
Mae'r geiriau hyn fel dŵr symudol yn symud.
Forward, step by step, inch by measured inch, engineered movement.
Ymlaen, cam wrth gam, modfedd fesul modfedd, symudiad wedi'i greu,
Controlled, these words as water flow.
wedi'i rheoli, llifa'r geiriau hyn fel dŵr. Ond yn gyntaf, rhaid darganfod ein cam.
First, though, we must find our pace.
Rydym yn araf, rydym yn gyson, tymherwyd ein hegni, mesurwyd ein hegni, rheolwyd ein hegni.
2.5 miles an hour, constantly for 73. This is how we flow to Birmingham, assisted by the pull of gravity alone.
Ein tynfa yn unig yw disgyrchiant.
We are slow. We are steady. Our energy tempered, our energy metered, our energy controlled.
Dyma sut y llifwn I Birmingham. 2.5 milltir yr awr yn gyson am 73.
A beat of 2.5 miles an hour for a body not of water but of flesh is 65 beats per minute of your heart.
Curiad calon yn gorffwys, yn araf, yn gyson. Egni wedi dymheru, egni wedi reoli.
A resting heart rate. Slow, steady, energy tempered, energy controlled.
Curiad o 2.5 milltir yr awr, am gorff nid o ddŵr, ond o gig, yn 65 curiad munud eich calon.
Pacing is vital for energy flows.
Mae camu yn hanfodol I lif egni. Ac wrth i'n taith lifo, weithiau daw craig I amharu ar ein llwybr, neu uchderau I rwysro ein ffordd.
As our journey flows, sometimes a rock will ensnare our path, or uprights will impasse our way. Jagged peaks from below of what was before, what we flooded, and with mirrored surfaces keep out of sight.
Copaon miniog o'r gwaelodion, o'r hyn a fi o'r blaen, yr hyn a foddom a gyda gwyneb drych allan o le.
In geology, in rocks, history will break our movement.
Mewn daeareg, mewn creigiau, bydd hanes yn tarfu ar ein symudiad. Wrth I hanes gwneud I ni bwyllo, byddwn yn gorffwys.
When history makes us pause, we will rest. The 1st of April 1892. Hearings for the Birmingham Water Act. Mr. Pember, on behalf of Robert Lewis Lloyd, said to the committee, "The estate of Nant Gwilt would be virtually obliterated under the scheme and the hamlet nearby." In reply, Sir Thomas said, "Yes, but I have heard that 180 persons are all that live about Caban Coch." Mr. Pember replied, "As I say, that may not sound much to Birmingham, but it may be a good deal to a gentleman living in a private part of Wales, and you swamp the church and the schools." The 7th of April 1892. Stephen Williams explained to the committee, "The population of the watershed area amounts to 362 men, women and children. Of heads of families, 34 are farmers and shepherds, 27 are miners and consequently are a floating population. There are 12 labourers or shepherds that work for weekly or daily wage. The remainder of the population is made up of the family of the squire of the parish, Mr. Robert Lewis Lloyd, of his keepers and servants, and 1 or 2 small tradespeople." Fatigue is not a negative state.
Nid yw blinder yn stad negyddol.
It is to live and breathe, be situated, to be differently orientated in space and time.
Golyga byw ac anadlu cael lleoliad, wedi ein gogwyddo yn wahanol mewn amser a lle.
To plan, to manage, to engineer our energy flows is to inhabit the past and the future in the now.
I gynllunio, I reoli, I drefnu ein llif egni, yw I drygo yn y gorffennol ac yn y dyfodol ac yn y presennol.
What energy to give, what to hold back, what to borrow from reservoirs.
Pa egni yw roi a beth yw ddal yn ôl, beth I fenthyg o'r cronfeydd
Meant
sydd ar gyfer
for
y
tomorrow.
fory.
What to save for rainy
Beth
days.
yw arbed ar gyfer dyddiau gwlyb, a phan nad oes gwlaw.
And when rain is none.
Fe ddysgwn ac fe gyfrifwn, yr hyn a deimlwyd pan ddarfu ein hegni neu ei gadw.
We learn and we calculate how it felt when our energy was spent or saved.
Sut a phryd y rhedodd ein cyrff yn sych, yn boenus.
How and when our bodies ran dry and ached.
Wrth gofio dychmygwn a estynwn, I fyw egni llwybr ein dyfodol.
In remembering, we imagine and project living our future energy path.
Mae angen mwy na chraig a cherig ar ein gorffwys, mwy na ffren ar weliau gwlyb.
How to rest when our home is gone. Rest needs more than rocks and stones and more than heads on beds of wet.
Sut I orffwys wedi un cartref ddiflannu, mwy na gorffwys ar ôl dim byd.
More than rest left as none.
Troswn amser a lle.
We straddle time and space. The Birmingham Corporation Water Act 1892. Clause 14. Birmingham Corporation's responsibility as the new landowner of this common land is to provide replacement housing to the labouring class that were tenants or lodgers of dwellings lost to flooding. Clause 24. At the cost of the corporation and under the superintendence of the medical officer, burials of graveyard at Craigthea Baptist Chapel that will be flooded can be applied for reinterment elsewhere. The corporation will not pay more than £10 per body. Clause 48. You cannot wash your sheep in corporation waters. Clause 50. The Birmingham Corporation has the power to make bylaws as they see fit.
Aneglir dan ein hwyneb pefriog, yn isel ddwfn, lle rydym yn oer a thywyll.
Obfuscated by our sparkling surface, deep down where we are cold and dark, where there is little light of day to make plain what we have done.
Lle nad oes golau dydd I ddangos yr hyn a wnaethom. Gwasgwn ar y cwm a lyncwyd.
We press upon the valley we swallowed.
Wrth symud ymlaen,
In our forward move,
yn ymbalfalu dros longddrylliad adfeilion, llefydd a chartrefi a thir a adawyd yn wlyb.
we fumble shipwrecked ruins, places and homes, and land laid wet. Our undercurrents urged osmoses.
Ein hisgerynt yn annog osmosis, down yn un gyda thagiad dŵr pren.
We become with clogged water wood. Reaching down, we fumble a low stone carcass.
Yn estyn I lawr ymbalfalwn corff o garreg isel. Yn pwtio'r bara wedi pydru gan y dyddiau gorau.
Nudging bread rotten before best date. In hurried swirl, we furl around a cross of wood.
Mewn chwyrliad bris fe chwyrliwn o gylch croes o bren, a mynd heibio gafael syddedig, cartref a siop y gweinidog bedyddwyr.
And pass through the sunken hold of the Baptist minister's shop and home. As the committee is no doubt aware, the majority of the present existing cottages are of a very inferior class and almost unfit for habitation, very defective, totally inadequate as viewed by modern requirements, very elementary. Our replacement cottages, that will be made of brick with modern hearth and glass, demonstrate our charity and morality, as it was so in relieving Birmingham of her slums. To avoid the taking advantage of our charity, we should build replacement housing as sparingly as can be accommodated within the terms of the Act. The persons affected would be in no doubt grateful of the barest of modern standards in any case, having been accustomed until now to this inferior habitation stock. Flowing on,
Yn llifon ymlaen,
and we are past notes in smudged marks.
cawnodiadau mewn olion o stein, potiau inc yn trwytholchi I islif ein nant.
Inkwells leach into our undercurrent stream. This is the schoolhouse and playground.
Dyma'r ysgoldy a'r maes chwarae, y cyfan yn dawel, yn heddychol a llonydd.
All is quiet and tranquil. Still.
Arhoswn, yn gyson ein 60 trawiad y funud. 2.5 milltir yr awr ein cam.
We remain steady. In our 65 beats per minute, 2.5 miles per hour pace.
Gron y nain symud. Mwy nain trwytholchi. Cariwn rhain fel mater mewn llif. I bobl Birmingham, yfed yn ddi ar wybod.
Particles shift, minerals leach, and we carry these as matter in flow for Birmingham folk unknowingly to drink.
Llynquid, ein diod hylif hunafol.
Swallowed is our fluid archival drink. Sloping into our old migratory streams against forgotten river tide.
Ar lethyr, un hen nentydd yn mudo yn erbyn llanw yr afon angof.
A humpbacked bridge over and under and along until stones step in our path.
Pont grymog trosodd ac o dan, gan gyffwrdd pob ochr, ac ymlaen hyd nes I gerrig camu un llwybr.
To build a large house for one person would be a waste of public money, and that, inasmuch as Jones has no family, there would be no hardship upon him if he were accommodated in part of one of the many other houses in the neighbourhood. Tenant is an old widow, 80 years of age. Having regard to the advanced age of this tenant and to the fact that it will be some considerable time before her house will be interfered with, it is quite possible that no accommodation be required. This is a shop or place of business, and the tenant is a retired Baptist minister and clearly does not come within scope of the Act. The corporation does not propose to replace this.
Dilyn ein llwybr mudol wrth iddo droi fferm Garth Ddu.
Following our migratory path as it curves Garth Ddu farm.
Fel eraill a dalwyd 5 pint am y tir fferm a gymerwyd, a chytogiad o rent y tenant.
Like others paid £5 for the farm taken land and reduction on tenant rent.
Codwyd tîn y pant ar dir sych. Nid ar gyfer hon, ond I deulu'r genhedlaeth nesaf i'w renti.
Tîn y pant on dry land was built, not for this, but for the next generation family to rent. In pursuance of instructions, I yesterday accompanied the county court bailiff to Abercoleta to receive from him possession of the house. When we arrived there, the tenant, John Morgans, was in possession and refused to quit. On the bailiff commencing to remove the furniture, some opposition was shewn by Morgans, but on the interference of the police constable, the removal of the furniture was continued and completed. After the furniture was all out of the house, I ordered the estate workmen to take off the roof. The roof and main timbers having been taken away, nothing much remains but the main walls. But it is not improbable that Morgans will attempt for a time to squat there and utilise the old material to put up a shelter for himself. Possession having now been obtained, the Works Department should at once see that the walls of the old house are taken down and the place cleared, and thus avoid the possibility of the corporation having again to bring an action of ejectment to get rid of him off the ground.
Cawn ein tynnu ymlaen ac allan trwy un o'r 11 seiffon sydd wedi teinu ar draws gymoedd tanddŵr Elan a Chleirwen.
We are pulled forward and out through one of 11 siphons that are spread across the flooded Elan and Cleirwen valleys. From each of these siphons we are brought together into 4 pipes, 2 of 60-inch and 2 of 42.
O bob un o'r seiffonnau hyn, fyddown at ein gilydd I 4 pibell, 2 o 60 modfedd a 2 o 42. Am ddeuddydd a hanner tywyll, dros, o dan ac ar draws.
For 2.5 dark days, over, under and across.
Sir faes yfed, swydd Henffordd, swydd Amwythig, swydd Caerwrangon a swydd Stafford.
Radnorshire, Herefordshire, Shropshire, Worcestershire, Staffordshire.
Syrthiwn 171 troedfedd I ddiwedd y daith.
We fall 171 feet to destination stop. Frankly Reservoir, Birmingham.
Cronfa ddŵr Frankly, Birmingham.
A small semicircle continuously filled.
Hanner cylch bychan a lenwyr yn gyson. Dy parhaol yn y tirwedd a warchodir gan reiliau haearn.
A perpetual D in the landscape, guarded by iron rails.
Dy am ddiod, dy am ddrain, dy am gymuned a ddisodlwyd am iechyd, am fywyd.
D for drink, D for drain, D for community displaced for health, for life. Out of 67 properties on the land acquired by Birmingham Corporation, 26 were submerged and 18 demolished for the works or abandoned as a result. After replacing the church, chapel and school, the corporation built 6 replacement cottages. Out of these 6, 3 housed the original families.
Arhoswch, nid ydym wedi gorffen eto.
Wait. We haven't stopped yet. We are always on our journey there and here, as an endless collective of hydrocarbons.
Rydym wastad ar ein taith yma ac acw yn gasgliad di-ddiwedd o hydrocarbonau yn llifon barhaus rhwng.
We are always flowing between. We are 7,815 million gallons as the reservoir Caban Coch.
Rydym yn 7,815 miliwn o alwyni, fel cronfa ddŵr Caban Coch.
And we are 80 million gallons that flow to Birmingham per day.
Ac rydym yn 80 miliwn o alwyni sy'n llifo I Birmingham pob dydd. Ni yw'r llymaid preswyl.
We are the resident sip, the 70% pulsing by bones.
Fy 70% curiad esgyrn, ac rydym yn ddiod hunafol.
And we are an archival drink.
Ac yn y blaen, rydym yn disgyn mewn chwalfa rheoledig.
In front we descend in a controlled crash.
Cofnodir ein hegni fel cwmwl madarch o wynt ar
Our
wyneb.
energy recorded as a mushroom cloud of face-felt wind, murmurations of spray and mist carried on by wind, mocked the
Murmurau o
inclement
ewyn
weather,
a tharth wedi ein cario ar y gwynt, herio'r tywydd garw,
enforced merger with our man-made plume.
wedi ein cyfuno'n orfodol gyda'n plien o waith dyn.
In our crash, we are energy compensation.
Yn ein dadansoddiad, rydym yn ynni iawn dal. Allan o olwg, islaw chwyrlio ac ewyn, ein cri yn curo tyrbeini.
Out of sight, below the froth and swirl, our roar pummels turbines.
Wedi ein tynnu o gyflwr orffwys ein cronfa ddŵr mewn cwymp terfynol.
Pulled out from our rest reservoir state in a fall final descent. Converted, we are power.
Fe'n trawsnewidiwyd, rydym yn bwer.
This is where our analogy departs and our journey ends.
Dyma lle mae'n cymhariaeth yn gadael, a'n taith yn diweddu.
A fatigue crash comes with no turbines, never energy compensation back, not able to move your body or mind against a fall of water holding you back. Gravity, heavy, pinned, horizontal, flat, rest is our only return. Resting is working, building rest reservoir state.
Daw chwalfa blinder heb dyrbeini, daw adaliad egni byth yn ôl. yn analluog I symud eich corff neu eich meddwl yn erbyn cwymp o ddŵr yn eich dal yn ôl. Gorffwys yw ein hunig ddychwelyd. Gorffwys yw gweithio, adeiladu cyflwr cronfan gorffwys. Yn
Quietly,
dawel, yn
gently,
llariaidd,
invisible
anabledd
disability,
anweladwy,
water
dŵr fel
as
egni
energy,
fel
as rest.
gorffwys.
We are
Rydym yn
integral to
anatod
this
i'r
land.
tir hwn.